Two telescopes are sitting on the same shelf at a big box store right now. Same aperture, same glass, poured in the same Chinese factory. One costs almost $400 more. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly why, and you'll know which famous telescope brand quietly died in 2024 while stores kept selling its boxes like nothing happened. If you'd rather find that stuff out before you spend the money, subscribe. That's basically all we do here. First, understand what the telescope aisle actually is. It looks like choice. It isn't. One company you've probably never heard of, a Taiwanese manufacturer called Sinta, owns both Celestron and Skywatcher, two of the biggest names in the hobby. One parent, one set of factories. Some of the other famous names on that shelf are rented logos. A couple are corpses. So tonight we're ranking 10 brands from worst to best, and the org chart is going to matter more than the spec sheet. Number 10. G-Skier. This is the telescope that tops Amazon's bestseller list every December, and Astronomy Club volunteers have a nickname for it: the Hobby Killer. The box brags about magnification numbers that are a physics joke on a 70mm lens. Past about 140 times, everything turns to mud. The tripod shakes if you breathe near it. The focuser? Plastic grinding on plastic. So a kid gets one for Christmas, points it at Jupiter, and sees a blurry smear. By March, it's in a closet, and that kid thinks space is boring. Nothing broke. Somebody just quit. Number 9. National Geographic. That yellow rectangle has meant something since 1888, and the yellow rectangle is exactly what you're paying for, because the magazine doesn't build telescopes. The name gets licensed out mostly onto entry-level Bresser hardware, and the license fee is baked into your price. The scope underneath is mediocre. Honestly fine, at the price it should cost. The problem is the trust markup. Real dollars for a logo that never touched the glass. Peel the sticker off and nobody at a star party could tell you what they're looking at. Number 8. Meade. This one hurts. For 50 years, Meade was an American giant, and the LX200 was the serious amateur's dream scope. Then, a price-fixing lawsuit against its Chinese parent company, a $50 million judgment, bankruptcy in 2019, and a slow bleed until the whole operation shut down in 2024. Buy one today, and here's what you own. No warranty, no parts, no firmware updates for a computerized mount that needs firmware to function. A used LX200 looks like a bargain right up until one circuit board dies and you're hunting eBay for organ donors. Number 7. Orion. Same story, second verse. Orion was the beloved mail-order dealer out of California. Their catalog got half of today's amateur astronomers started, and the SkyQuest Dobsonians were flat-out great scopes. Then, Orion closed its doors in July 2024 and took what was left of Meade down with it, because Orion had bought Meade out of bankruptcy. Retailers are still clearing inventory, and those discounts look tempting. Don't. An orphaned telescope is orphaned the day you buy it. The good news? Dobbs, every bit as good as Orion's, are still coming out of a factory in Taiwan, under another name. We'll get there. Before the top 6, 4 checks that beat any brand name dead or alive. 1. Dollars per inch of aperture, because aperture is what actually shows you the sky. 2. Mount capacity versus tube weight. A mount at its limit wobbles like a diving board. 3. Who actually built the optics, since the badge and the builder are usually 2 different companies. 4. Do replacement parts exist, which you now know isn't guaranteed even for famous names. While you're here, tell me in the comments what your first scope was and whether it still gets used. I'm betting half the answers involve a closet. Number 6. Unistellar. The French smart scopes are genuinely clever. Push a button and the thing finds a galaxy on its own, then stacks exposures until your phone shows color. Your eyeball could never pull in. Now, do the math. Around $2,500 for roughly a 4.5-inch mirror. That's the aperture of a $300 beginner scope with a very smart computer strapped on. And there's no eyepiece, so you never actually look through it. If the company pivots or the app support dries up, you own a tube that can't work without the app. Fun gadget. Rough value. Number 5. Celestron. The famous orange tube. To be clear, the optics are good, and the StarSense app is the best hand-holding a beginner can get. Point your phone at the sky and it walks you to Saturn. Nothing else in the hobby does onboarding that well. But remember the parent company. Cinta bought Celestron in 2005, and you routinely pay a steady premium over the mechanically similar scope from Cinta's other brand. Decades of marketing built that orange badge. You fund those decades at checkout. Number 4. Skywatcher. The other Cinta child and the smarter buy from the same parent. Comparable glass out of the same factories, with less advertising baked into the sticker. Their collapsible Dobsonians pack real aperture into a car trunk, and the EQ6R mount became the default workhorse for astrophotographers because it tracks well at half the boutique price. The white tube has zero romance. Doesn't matter. Photons can't read logos, and Skywatcher usually delivers more of them per dollar than its famous sibling. Number 3. Explore Scientific. Started in 2008 by a former Meade executive who apparently learned from the wreckage. The pitch is simple, honest apertures and no inflated claims. Their 82-degree eyepieces undercut the legacy names by hundreds, and their 100-degree eyepieces made spacewalk-style views affordable for normal people. And the warranty is a real thing they actually honor, with humans who answer emails. Sounds like a low bar. It is a low bar. You'll appreciate it anyway once you've owned a Meade. Number 2. Apertura. Ask the Cloudy Nights forum what a beginner should buy, and the answer comes back almost every time. The Apertura AD8. It's a house brand from the retailer High Point Scientific, built by GSO in Taiwan, the factory whose Dobbs went toe-to-toe with Orion's best, except this brand is still alive. Around $650 gets you 8 full inches of mirror, a dual-speed focuser, a decent eyepiece, and a cooling fan already in the box. Nothing else in the hobby hands you that much raw light per dollar. It's not famous, it's just correct. Number 1. Takahashi. A family company outside Tokyo, founded in 1932, hand-figuring refractor lenses for over half a century now. And their fluorite doublets are the standard. Everything else gets measured against. Stars snap to focus like pinpricks on velvet. Yes, a small Takahashi costs what a used car costs. But watch the used market. These scopes hold around 70% of their value for decades. Some models sell used for more than they cost new. Now compare that to the beginner treadmill, where a cheap scope disappoints you into a mid-range scope that disappoints you into a good one. 3 rounds of upgrades cost more than buying right once. Over 20 years, the most expensive brand on this list might be the cheapest thing here. So look at what actually separated these 10. Not glass. Ownership. The sticker was never the real cost. The real cost is the warranty that evaporates when a brand dies, or the badge tax on an orange tube. Sometimes it's a $90 wobbler that convinces a 10-year-old the universe isn't worth their time. Run the 4 checks. Buy aperture and living support, not logos. Then tell me in the comments which of these 10 is sitting in your garage right now. And if this saved you $400 or a Dead Brands clearance box, subscribe, because next time we're doing the same thing to eyepieces.